up, guys?
Welcome back,
Welcome back to the No Filter podcast,
Brother Edition Part 2.
Brother Edition Part 2. So today we're going to talk about a crazy story that happened to us.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
How was it, like 3 years ago? Nah, 4.
Dude, no, it was a long ass time ago.
It was 2018,
When
I
we in
think.
school?
No, we already graduated. Remember, we're riding
Bikes in the
when
morning?
we almost got arrested.
Yeah.
That was the most craziest day ever.
Yep.
All right, so this is what happened. I think it was back in 2018. I still have some videos I recorded because,
Yeah.
they try to accuse us.
Yeah.
So, crazy how things turned out.
So we would have a bike ride route. We'll do every day, I think, right?
Yeah, it was every day. We bought some bikes. Well, we got
Yep.
gifted some bikes,
Yep.
and then what's it called? We're like, you know what? Let's do some cardio.
Yeah.
So every morning we'd woke up at 7.
I think
I think
so.
it was 7. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I would always have to wake you up.
Yeah.
So it was 7 o'clock in the morning. I remember that day. Well, here's the story. Here's the story timeline. This episode's gonna be called "The Day We Almost Got Arrested."
Yep.
Well, I got accused. They didn't really care about you.
Yeah, because you fit the description.
Yeah, I fit somebody's description that day. So that day, I remember I woke up, went straight to your room,
Yep.
and I opened the door and I was like, "You ready?" And you're like, "Yeah, just give me a second." So we got on our bikes, and you remember that time we were so into bikes that we bought like bike seats
Shit, bike
and GPS
accessories. Yeah.
holders and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And me, Mr. Smart One over here, I wanted to track where we went, how many calories we did. Hey,
Cookie.
and how many calories we did, and how many.
Get Cookie.
Sorry, guys, we have a dog here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were tracking down our mileage,
Yeah.
and luckily I had another phone.
So what I'll do is I'll put my phone on the bike thing and start my fitness thing.
Yeah.
And it'll do a map of it. So every day we did that map.
The same route.
Yeah, same route every day.
Now that I think about it, that's what saved me.
Yeah,
not
literally.
going. I could have been locked up right now,
Mm-hmm.
years in jail, because I got accused of something crazy. So then, I know Abigail hasn't heard this story.
I think she has.
Oh,
Yeah.
she has. Oh, well, she's in the background. Shout out Abigail. She's using production back there.
Yeah.
Make sure everything's good.
Camera crew. Say
Camera
hi.
crew. So basically, what happened is that morning we went to our usual bike route,
Yeah.
but we lived in the whitest neighborhood ever.
Yeah.
Straight up white people. We're the only Hispanics in that street now.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
There's two parts of our street. The first end was like mostly Hispanics.
Yep.
Then the other side, which we lived on, was all white.
Yeah.
Basically.
We were in the white side, and we're the only Hispanics in that street. So that morning, we got our bikes. We had left, did our usual route, and turns out that once we got back, we would always leave from the side door of our house because we had like a lock on there. And then I remember you said you were going to go pick up your check. And you left to go pick up your check when you were working at the Singleton Fiesta.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
did the bike route. And then by the time I think it was 11, that's when I get my check.
Yeah.
So I went to go get my check.
And you went to go get Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
So by the time my brother was gone, I was at the house by myself. My mom was at work, and I was just chilling there, and I heard a strange bang at the door. And I was always aware at the time, because, I was there by myself.
Yeah.
But I heard this, like, usual hard bang, like, bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, shit. And good thing that door, we had a peephole. So I looked, and I saw that there was a cop right there. I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck is going down?
Weren't you surrounded? There were, like, cops in the front yard.
Well, this is what happened. I guess they planned this because when the cop came, I looked at the people, and I only saw one cop. Damn. But at the time, I was in my room, and I could hear stuff in the window.
Yeah.
And I heard somebody trying to open the side door, so that's what scared me. So then I went to go to the peep door. I'm like, oh shit, who's in here? Because I thought I was being robbed or something. So it turns out it was a cop. By the time I opened the door, dude, the craziest part was that this guy had his hand in the gun, and I opened the door. He's like, hey, you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, what's going on? He's like, oh, we got a call that you were here held at gunpoint and somebody was trying to rob you.
What the fuck?
I was like, what the hell? I'm like, nobody's here. I'm here by myself. I'm like, but you could come, go ahead, take my information, come in. And then out of nowhere, right behind him, I see fucking cops from each side of the house just pull up and get inside the crib. And I was like, holy
They
shit.
asked you though, right?
Yeah,
If
they
they
told
could
me. I
come
told
in.
them, like, you could come in, you could walk around and see whatever. And you know what was crazy though? And they didn't catch this. I had two phones in my fucking in my bed at the time because you had the iPhone 5 and the 6 because I had upgraded to the 7. So then I left those two phones right there in the bed, but I don't think they even saw that.
Or they just thought you just
Yeah,
upgraded,
but all
whatever.
the other cops went everywhere to your room, my room, my mom's room, and then they saw everything, and they're like, "Nah, this is not the guy," because they saw my room because you know I had all them
Bodybuilder.
bodybuilder
Yeah.
autographs on there. They're like, "Nah, this is not the guy." So then they left, but the other guy was still taking my information down.
Yeah.
Then after that, she's like, "All right, sorry, guy, missed call. I guess we got a call about this and that."
Yeah.
So they had left, and I was, they left the house. But then when I was looking through the window, I was like, all right, I got to be more curious. Like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
There's fucking vans and cops everywhere in the front yard, like surrounding the house, like if something went down. So then I see this two guys in suits,
Yep.
and I guess those were the FBI
With
agents.
the white undercover charger.
Yeah,
Yep.
I remember. So they were there and they were talking this and that, but then they all left because I guess they couldn't find whoever they had to
But
find.
those two stayed, right?
No, 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 they left, but then they came back like 10 minutes later
Oh,
because the station was at Backman Lake Station.
yeah,
Remember, it
really
wasn't that
close.
far. So they came back when you came back.
Yeah.
So then they were trying to friendly talk us because they were gonna take us to the station. So they took us to the station, and I remember they told you y'all can't sit together. One sit in the
Yeah.
front, one sit in the back. And he's like,
So,
you can take your food with you too.
yeah, which I didn't. I fucking
Yeah.
left it there. My Chick-fil-A.
Hey, but you remember the time when they were outside? I was like, yeah, let me just put my shoes on.
Yeah.
I went to your room and I told you, look, they're gonna try to make us like lie and think
Yeah.
that we did this and that. Like we got to tell the truth.
Yeah.
So then, good thing is I used my fucking brain that day. I
Mhm.
took the fucking phone that showed the GPS where we were riding with the bikes.
Yep, same.
Yeah, so I took my little phone, and then they took us in the car, and you remember we almost crashed. This motherfucker,
Yeah,
like,
dude, he was crazy driver, the FBI.
yeah, the FBI guy was going fucking fast, and the fucking thing, like,
Yep.
he almost crashed at the time.
Yeah.
So they took us down to the station. I was like, oh shit, here it goes. So we go in there, and I forgot who they put in. No, they put me in the room first.
No, they just put us in two separate rooms.
Oh, two separate rooms.
So you got the
The
guy with
bald
the
guy.
hair. You got
Yeah.
the bald guy?
Yeah, the bald guy. The
Okay,
one that was
so
fucking rude as hell.
oh, what the hell?
You got the
So
other guy.
no, I got the bald guy. I remember
Well,
talking to
I
him.
guess it was both of us. But then
Yeah.
you told me that they told you we don't really care about you.
Yeah, so no, he didn't say that at first. He was like, uh, so let me know what happened. And I'm like, well, and then I showed him the phone. I'm like, this is a route you could tell because it only took 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And he said the robbery was probably the same amount. I'm like, how the hell could we go somewhere and show on the map and it didn't say we stopped.
Yeah.
It just showed like we kept going and it lasted 20 minutes. How can we do that? All that shit that he said that the guy was held at,
Gunpoint.
yeah, or he had a crowbar and a
Yeah.
backpack. And we had backpacks that day.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So how the fuck can we do all that? Open the damn house, do all that robbery, and come back in less than 20 minutes. So that didn't make sense. I showed him that, and he was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And then he took his glasses off. So it's a trick. So he could like stare me in my
Yeah.
eyes. So if I look away or whatever, he's like, "Tell me the truth. Did your brother do this?" I'm like, no. I'm like, how the fuck are you? Like, I kept telling him, he's like, oh, okay, because we really didn't know, like, care about what you did. It's what him, because he had the description, I guess. He was bigger or whatever. And I'm like, oh. But
Yeah.
I think after that, they interviewed you.
Yes.
And what did they ask you?
So okay, that bald guy came back in the room, and then he read me my rights, of course,
That's
and
crazy.
he told me all this bullshit, and I was like, you know what? I've seen videos like this when they put you in that room, and
Yeah.
the camera's up there
Everything's
somewhere. Yeah.
recording.
So
Yeah.
they're trying to see your every move. Like, let's see if you're sweating or you're
Yeah.
nervous. I was just calm looking at the fucking table, like, all right, I'm in here.
Yeah.
So he comes in there and he tells me, so, all right, I need you to tell me the truth. What happened that day? I was like, all right, I'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
I told him, I woke up, went straight to my brother's room, and I told him, are you ready?
Yeah.
And I was like, he's like, yeah. And I was like, all right, put our shoes on. It was cold at the time. Those days it was getting cold.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, put my sweater on, put my backpack on, of course, because I had to carry my water bottles. I had nowhere because I'm a big guy. I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
So we put everything on. We go our usual route, and then that's when I took that little phone out, and I'm like, look, let me show you. And I put out like this biker GPS thingy,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed every day where we went. So the crazy thing was that when I showed him the route, his street was there, but we would pass his street, and we
Yeah.
came out on his cameras. But the thing is that
Oh yeah.
we never entered his street. We would pass the street and turn left.
Yeah.
So then he saw that and everything, did his little investigation shit. He's like, "Oh, okay." And then he told me, "But I need you to tell me the truth." I'm like, "Yeah," and that's pretty much what happened. He's like, "All right." I'm like, "Well, you fit our description, so we had to see, if it was you or not, because you're wearing a backpack and a sweater or whatever."
Yeah.
So yeah, at the time they let us go. It was crazy.
But so the thing was that day, supposedly someone followed us to our house,
Oh
and
yeah,
they called the cops. Like, hey, the people I think live there, and that's why the cops came to our house.
yeah. And then
And that's when it all started,
that's when they
basically.
told me if I was okay, if I was being
Yeah.
held at gunpoint or whatever.
So like, but after the interrogation, this is a little trick. I
Hmm.
don't know if you noticed. We went to the car. He's like, "Oh shit, I forgot something." He left us in there,
Hmm.
but they left us in there recording something.
Oh yeah.
So you'd be like, "Oh my god, we got away with it,"
Hmm.
But we didn't say any of that. Obviously, we're like, "What the
No,
fuck just
yeah,
happened?"
we're being smart about it
We're like,
because we
"What the
know
fuck just happened?"
we know those fucking tactics.
Yeah, I'm
But
like,
yeah, it was
"Hell no!" Nah.
crazy.
And then all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I got everything," and
Yeah,
then takes us back to our house.
that was the day we almost got arrested. I could have been doing some time for no reason.
Yeah,
That's crazy that like y'all missing that street saved your life
Yeah.
because like you said, like they had the recording, but just because it showed that you passed it, they're like, oh yeah,
yeah,
we're
Hmm.
right.
But I'm always smart about things. Like if we ever left that house, I would always take that GPS because I wanted to see where we would go to.
yeah,
And then yeah, they surrounded the whole house. That shit was crazy.
yeah. And then after that day, I think we asked him, can we just keep bike riding? We want no one to follow us again or
Oh
whatever.
yeah, we did ask that.
And then he was roasting my bike that I didn't have a. I put a pad on my fucking
Yeah,
bike. He was like, "Man, get your new bike." I was like, "God damn!" Like, what the fuck?
I thought everybody do something nice and get you a bike or something
Yeah,
like for my
fuckers.
bad that we accused
Yeah.
y'all of robbing somebody.
Oh, yeah. Another thing, he's like, "Nah, they're clean. Like, I don't have shit from them. Only like a car robbery that happened a long ass time ago.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Parents called the cops."
yeah. Because since we lived in a very very nice neighborhood,
Uh-huh.
nothing but white people, nothing ever went down except for one time they stole something from the car. But that was the only call that came out in the system
In the
about our
system,
house.
nothing
Nothing
else.
else. We're safe there, but at the time when we were still living there, there was starting to be robberies now
Yep,
because they were building $1 million houses around there. That's another reason why we left because they bought our property.
yep,
But yeah, that was crazy. That was the time where we got accused of. Well, I got accused of pointing someone with the gun and robbing the guy at
yeah.
his backyard or whatever.
That's
But yeah,
crazy. We came out on camera, I guess, for a split second. That's
for
how they
yeah,
got interviewed us.
I mean it is kind of crazy though because at the time I was lifting and I was wearing the hoodie.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'd look suspicious. We're the only Hispanics there.
and that's I think that was like one of our first time wearing a backpack too.
Yeah,
We're like,
I
fuck
just
it.
wear my backpack because I didn't have no water bottle thing to
Uh,
hold my drink. But I remember this one time we were going by Jesus's house
yeah,
and we saw cops and it was during school season. And then I was like, oh yeah, there's a cop looking at us, but he never followed us or nothing.
mm,
But yeah, that was crazy times.
yeah,
I think that's it for the story time when we almost got arrested.
yeah.
Thank y'all for joining. No Filter Podcast, more podcasts coming soon.
Subscribe or whatever.
Subscribe on Rumble, not YouTube,
Rumble.
Rumble. But yeah, tune in for the next one.
Peace.
Peace.